Hey everybody, it's Malia Scott here. I'm back with part 2 of my video called My Mother Had Me Out of Spite. So I have some questions that I wrote that I'm going to answer for you guys. So the first question is, so basically, what was the mental abuse like? So the mental abuse growing up is just my mother pretty much blaming me for everything, blaming me for this, that, and the third. And then I'd be like, I didn't even do it. And she's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You know, stupid shit like that. And, you know, the way how I felt about that, at the time, I just was confused, obviously, because I was mentally ill. Now, being older, 35 years old, I feel angry, but I feel like hopeful that I will, you know, be more positive about the situation than negative and all of that, and more positive than anything, and try to eliminate negative overall. And what else? Like, so yeah, blame me for everything and just call me curse words like, you know, bitch and all the stupid stuff, and do little spiteful things towards me and stuff like that. Like a story, like one time, you know, I remember when I was like maybe 10 or 11, something like that. And I was like maybe 10 or 11. And I ran in the house. My brother was running after me, and cause we was playing outside, and I came in the house to grab some cereal, like dry cereal to eat. And so my grandmother was like yelling, like, "Oh, what are y'all doing?" And da, 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 da. Because like my grandmother, you know, I'ma just say it's safe to say that I feel like I'm like she wasn't really up there herself like that, like mentally ill herself. It's like a family full of mental illness. It's really sad. And and so she's like yelling, da da da. We wasn't even like, you know, I think about that now, and I'm just like, we wasn't even doing anything. Like we was playing. I ran in to go get some. I was telling him stop, because I want to go get some cereal. And so all I know is I'm pouring the cereal, you know, and I'm eating some of the cereal, and I just hear this drop, boom, and I'm like, what was that? So I went into the living room, and I see my grandmother on the living room floor. So clearly she just dropped pretty much dead, like on the floor while I was in there. And I had ran out to go tell my mom, and when she had came up and she seen her mother on the floor, and she just shook her head and was looking at me, and she was like, it's because of you, it's your fault. And I was just like, you know, I was like 10 or 11, so I didn't really understand that either. And I mean, I figured I know that she figured that it would make me angry when I thought about it when I got older and stuff like that. And I am angry, but you know, I'm also really extremely mature and positive, and I believe in God. So you know that uplifts me, and God uplifts me. So, you know, and she didn't seem like really sad or whatever, like that. That you know, her mother was laying there on the floor, because my grandmother was the root to my mother's evil. Like, so it was like, you know, no real sadness there. But yeah, that's pretty much what all I could think about right now as far as like the mental illness. I know in the further videos, like more videos and stuff like that, I open up more and be more like, you know, just like open to and be able to think of more stories that I went through in my life, because there's a ton of them that I remember and stuff like that. Should I do another question? Oh, okay. Well, I put this number 2. What was the sexual abuse like? Well, I don't really remember the first time I realized that, you know, I may have been sexually abused. All I know is that my mother told me that. like like I said in the first video, she was like that my cousin, you know, basically molested me in her own way, and that he used to hit me and stuff like that, and all this other stuff like hit. Like we all know those cold words, that people use when they like psychopaths and like devil worshippers, like abuse a child and tell them good job. Like it's really sad, but yeah, all I know is like the signs. All I can remember is that my cousin was like he's older and I remember one time I was just like in the house and he was in the house and he was just talking about his life and saying how, how he wasted his whole life and all this stuff like that. I think at the time he's like 27, 28 years old. And I was like 21, something like that, 2021. And, you know, and he just like kind of made me cry. And then he was like, oh, you cried and da da da. But I didn't feel like he was referring to me crying just because of what he said. But I feel like he thought I was crying because of something else. And that was the first really time, like the second time I really realized, like I'm like, something really did happen, between us, obviously, that I wasn't obviously aware of, like, and then I know, out of nowhere, when I would see him at like family events and stuff, that he would act funny and or whatever, like funny towards me, like not talk to me, like, or act mad funny or something like that. And I just be like, people only being older, like knowing now, especially like, I mean, people only avoid you when they did something wrong to you. So like that's their way of like telling you they did you wrong, and that's their way of like taking it to the grave, but still letting you know, like And I mean, I'm all fucked up because I don't even know how many more people know about the situation, like what aunts know about what cousins know about what. I mean, to me, it's all like a guilt trip to me. Like I'm just here to tell my story and help myself heal. That's what this is really about, like me healing, and it's time. I can't I can't wait to be at more peace. It's not gonna be perfect, but eh, work in progress. Um, this video is getting long, so um, I'll do another video and come back with the same thing. All right, so part 3.